Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 85 based on novel. So let's start. With the injection of Mu Yingying's soul power, Xiao Yan also felt that the fighting qi in his body also became calm, and then those fighting qi and soul power that had been consumed also recovered instantly. However, what surprised Xiao Yan the most was the change of the blue soul in his body. This Mu Yingying soul power can actually resonate with this soul species. This made Xiao Yan extremely surprised. This kind of soul is necessary to conquer the holy flame. If it resonates at this time, doesn't it mean that the holy flame that Xiao Yan has been needing has been absorbed by Mu Yingying in front of him? No. The power of the holy flame on Mu Yingying's body is very weak. It seems, as she said, for some reason, she cannot use the full power of the holy flame. Also, the holy flame power on Mu Yingying's body fluctuates with the holy flame soul species in my soul realm, but these fluctuations seem to be acquaintances. I'm sure these two auras are definitely not one. In the next moment, Xiao Yang said decisively, "In your body, there seems to be something." Mu Yingying's beautiful eyes also flickered slightly, then she stared at Xiao Yang and said, "Because the reason why Mu Yingying scattered a trace of soul power was to restore the power consumed by Xiao Yang, but at this time, she discovered something incredible. One person can't handle it. These things, I will tell you in the future. Let's deal with the person in front of you first." Xiao Yang also muttered, "Yes." Mu Yingying came back to her senses when she heard the words, and at this moment, the azure blue holy flame also filled Mu Yingying's whole body. At this moment, Mu Yingying's whole body changed drastically. Whole body blue. Her hair has turned azure blue, and it falls vertically from her forehead like a waterfall. Her azure clothes are also dyed azure blue, and her whole body exudes a very holy power. As if no evil spirit could get a step closer, the evil spirit retreated. This fluctuation. The man in black also found something, and then said slowly. The next moment, the man in black also took off the cap of the cloak, and then showed an extremely vicissitudes face. The man in black showed his forehead, and the most attractive thing was the conspicuous scar on the forehead of the man in black. The scar spread over the entire forehead. The most striking. It turns out that the other holy flame is in your hand. The man in black also showed a very greedy wink in his pupils, and then slowly stared at Mu Yingying in front of him. A very terrifying aura also soared. There is no doubt that the 8-star Do DS perfection level strength is on display. Holy flame. It's actually a holy flame. Ha ha ha. Terrifying laughter also emanated from the man in black. Ha ha ha. As long as I get this holy flame, then no one can stop me. King Xianling. Solomon. Wait. The man in black also said with a wicked smile. When Xiao Yan heard this, he also stared blankly at Mu Yingying, who was obviously seeing the power of Saint Flame for the first time at such a close distance. However, Xiao Yang did not have the slightest sign of relief. Xiao Yang still understands the truth that the wealth is not revealed. Now this Mu Yingying has leaked the secret that she has the holy flame. If the man in black is not killed, once he escapes, I am afraid that he will. The crazy revenge that provoked the dark man in black. However, to kill this man in black, who is as powerful as an 8-star Do Di perfection level, is as difficult as going to the sky. It took a lot of manpower and material resources to kill the twin ghost emperors at the half-step 8-star Do Emperor level back then. As for the man in black in front of him, self-defense is still a problem, let alone killing. However, looking at the man in black with such a fiery gaze, he obviously wouldn't let Mu Yingying go easily. However, Xiao Yang did not have any other thoughts. After all, Mu Yingying was also a member of Fenxiang Pavilion, and she could be regarded as her junior sister, so no matter what, Xiao Yang would not hide behind a woman. He was also holding the ancient fire ruler in his hand, and then an extremely terrifying wave was slowly exuding. As long as there is something wrong with Mu Yingying, Xiao Yan will immediately take action. At this moment, Mu Yingying was like a female of war, her whole body exuded a holy aura, and the azure flames slowly surrounded her. Her whole body was azure blue. Sheng Yao. The next moment, facing the greedy man in black, Mu Yingying's beautiful eyes moved slightly, and then her lips moved slightly. As Mu Yingying's humming sound fell, a beam of light silently condensed from Mu Yingying's body, and then Mu Yingying raised her jade hand slightly, and then a beam of blue light with the power to purify all evil, whistling away at the man in black. What a terrifying attack! Even Xiao Yan was full of praise for Mu Yingying's attack at this time. Because of the powerful attack, Xiao Yan also knew that the attack strength of this Mu Yingying attack was comparable to that of his own Lotus of Destruction. Even more terrifying than his own Lotus of Silence. Susu. The man in black also made some extremely strange noises, and the next moment, a huge Do Chi light shield appeared beside him. Inside was a golden Do Chi light shield, and outside was the power of black Chi like a ghost. Obviously, even a man as powerful as this man in black would not dare to underestimate the enemy in the face of Mu Yingying, who possessed holy flame. Boom boom boom. Mu Yingying's blue beam of light also pierced through the defense of the man in black in an instant. Shabu. Mu Yingying's azure blue beam of light was also straight as if entering no one's realm. Tilda directly ignored the defense of the man in black, and then went directly from above the golden defense Do Chi light shield go through it. The azure light beam pierced the man in black abruptly. Shabu shabu. The man in black also had a stream of blood flowing out of his chest, obviously very embarrassed. I really underestimate the power of your holy flame. However, how many times can you perform such a terrifying attack? The man in black was determined to kill this Mu Yingying and obtain the holy flame on her body, so the more attacking this Mu Yingying was, the more the stronger he is, the more excited he is. Because Mu Yingying's attack became stronger and stronger, which meant that the holy flame on Mu Yingying's body became more and more terrifying. Cough, cough. After Mu Yingying performed an attack, the power of the holy flame was also withdrawn from her body. Obviously, the energy required for such an attack was quite good. Just when Mu Yingying took a few breaths and was about to condense the holy flame to deal with the man in black, a warm palm also supported Mu Yingying, and then a rather soft voice also said, "Don't use that power anymore. Left over. Give it to me." Mu Yingying also raised her head with difficulty, and then a face with a soft smile appeared in her beautiful eyes. It was a man with a heavy ruler on his back, and his body was covered in milky white flames. However, the smile on his face made Mu Yingying feel at ease. He's very strong. Mu Yingying also uttered a sentence with difficulty. I know. Xiao Yan also said calmly. That's why only the holy flames in me can harm him. Mu Yingying said slightly stubbornly. Actually, do you know? What is the meaning of cultivation? Xiao Yan also ignored Mu Yingying and asked directly. Well? Mu Yingying was obviously stumped by Xiao Yan's question. Mu Yingying was very puzzled why Xiao Yan would say such a thing during the war. The meaning of cultivation should be to pursue the supreme realm. Mu Yingying also turned her head and glanced at the man in black who was healing her wound, and then said slightly in a low voice. I don't have such high pursuits. The purpose of cultivation is just to protect others. Xiao Yang also smiled slowly. What? Mu Yingying obviously didn't know why Xiao Yang said such a thing at this time, but a bad premonition also appeared spontaneously. Little baby, you are really hitting me with this holy flame. The man in black also turned hideous, obviously even if he had a good healing medicine. This seemingly simple blow from Mu Yingying just now gave the self-inflicted damage is also terrifying. It seems that it won't get better in a short time. For this, you need to apologize with death. After the man in black finished speaking, he also turned into a life-threatening death god, wielding a huge axe, and then whistled away at Xiao Yang and Mu Yingying. Xiao Yang. Step aside. Otherwise, both of us will die here. Mu Yingying also found out that the man in black was on the offensive, and snorted coldly. It's me. It's not you. The next moment, Xiao Yang's voice also slowly appeared in Mu Yingying's ear. Huang Chuan's anger. Just when Mu Yingying was puzzled, a huge soul shock also radiated from Xiao Yang's body instantly. Although Mu Yingying didn't know what Xiao Yang wanted to do, at this moment only the dead horse was used as a living horse doctor, and she was about to use the holy flame to resist the man in black, but found that her soul there was a shock within the sea. This shock was very soft, but it also caused Mu Yingying to lose her mind for a short time. The next moment, Mu Yingying was also stunned by Xiao Yang's sudden soul attack. Xiao Yang also had a plan for a long time, and then a huge battle chi also emerged in an instant, and then he attacked viciously in a certain passage of the 9 fish playing dragon formation. He held up Mu Yingying in his hand, and the surrounding space also wriggled. The next moment, he threw Mu Yingying into the wriggling space. The next moment, a certain passage of the 9 fish opera dragon formation was slightly shattered, and at this moment, a squirming space emerged, and then Mu Yingying was directly sent into the passage that left. Among. At the moment when the passage from which she left was about to close, Mu Yingying also recovered. Then at the same time, Mu Yingying's unbelievable expression also stared at Xiao Yang through the passage that was about to close. Xiao Yang! You bastard! The voice mixed with anger also slowly echoed in the space. The next moment, Mu Yingying couldn't hold back her tears, and it poured out from her beautiful eyes like a flood. Come on! Don't waste my kindness. The passage was closed, and with Xiao Yang's last voice, the passage was also completely closed. The passageway was closed, and a milky white flame force also fled towards the exit with the weak Mu Yingying. All of Xiao Yang's actions were carried out between lightning and flint, so the man in black only saw Mu Yingying, who disappeared out of thin air and the broken corner of the space passage. Cough cough cough. Fortunately, I caught up. Xiao Yang also laughed. You are courting death. The man in black also noticed Xiao Yang's move, and immediately held up a huge axe, and then viciously criticized Xiao Yang. Because even if this is the territory of the Xianling royal family, it can only enter but not exit, even if it is as strong as his 8-star fighting emperor level, it cannot break through that passage. The man in black was immediately furious. Xiao Yang also didn't have time to escape. He immediately raised the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand, and then confronted the terrifying offensive of the man in black. Boom boom boom. The giant axe of the man in black collided heavily with Xiao Yang's ancient ruler of strange fire, and then the next moment, a certain place on Xiao Yang's ancient ruler of strange fire also sunk directly. Obviously it was caused by such a terrifying blow from the man in black. The next moment, Xiao Yang was also suddenly repelled by the attack of the man in black by a distance of dozens of meters. Even if a lot of power was dissolved by the ancient ruler of the different fire, the remaining power was too much for Xiao Yang to handle. Cough cough cough. 8-star Do Di's perfection level powerhouse really deserves his reputation. Before Xiao Yang finished his words, he suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood. Boy! What good did you do? The man in black also glared at Xiao Yang with a ferocious face. Obviously, this fat sheep was actually enshrined in his dignified Xianling royal family, and slipped away from the hands of a complete 8-star Do Emperor level powerhouse. If this was spread, it would definitely be ridiculed by others. What's more serious is that this woman still has the existence of holy flame. If I let her go this time, I'm afraid I won't have the chance to get that holy flame again in the future. Therefore, the man in black was also furious, his eyes fixed on Xiao Yang, his teeth clenched tightly, wishing to smash Xiao Yang to pieces. Humph! It's hard for the dignified Xianling royal family to enshrine the elders of the hall, and it's hard for a weak woman to be seen by anyone else. Xiao Yang also said with disapproval. Boy! You brought it on yourself. Originally, I said that I might consider letting you go when I absorbed the holy flame in that woman's body, but now it seems that you are deliberately courting death. If that's the case, then I'll satisfy you. I will use the ghost spirit of the ghost world to erode you and torture you until your life is worse than death, and let you know that offending our Xianling royal family is your worst decision. The man in black finished speaking till the breath all over the body soared, and then slowly formed an extremely terrifying force in front of the body. In that power, there is a very eerie aura, which is exactly the same as those ghosts that Xiao Yan had in the Yin Corpse forest. It seems that there are some hidden secrets in your Xianling royal family and the ghost world. Xiao Yang also said. The man in black didn't care about Xiao Yang at all, but concentrated on condensing that terrifying ghost energy. Since this Xiao Yang deliberately seeks death, then he will torture him to death with ghost energy. Let him live rather than die, and suffer the pain of torment. Elder Zhu, Xiao Yang and the others haven't come out yet. At the entrance of the underground palace, Mu Feng and Zhu Lao were waiting here for a long time. Today is the time when everyone leaves the Xianling Emperor Pond. Of course, Mu Feng also lived up to expectations and directly broke through to the early stage of the 5-star Do Emperor. As for the second brother of the Xianling Imperial family, it was not long after entering the Xianling Imperial Pond, and he came out in a dismal state, apparently being expelled by others. It should be soon. Zhu Lao also said a little lazily, and then he also looked at the entrance of the underground palace. Strange, there seems to be some familiar aura fluctuations in this underground palace. It seems to be the person who worships the hall. Could it be my illusion? Elder Zhu also shook his head and continued to wait. Cough, cough. Xiao Yang also realized that as the man in black continued to condense the ghost energy, in the space of the 9 fishes playing the dragon formation, an extremely terrifying coercion slowly emerged from the black clothes. Diffuse around people. Such fluctuations were obviously a suppression of strength, and Xiao Yang couldn't help but want to surrender, but fortunately, Xiao Yang gritted his teeth and held on. Damn it! The man in black's 8-star Do Emperor's perfection level strength is really tricky. Could it be that I fell here today? Xiao Yang also muttered to himself. It's just that Xiao Yang Io did not give up resistance. The ancient ruler of different fires that had been sunk by the man in black, which had been attacked by the man in black, was also condensed in Xiao Yang's hands again. Long Yi also turned into a ruler, and then attached to the ancient ruler of eternal fire. The next moment, on Xiao Yang's palm, a mysterious rune carrying mysterious power slowly emitted a dark light. This is soul-devouring talisman. The next moment, Xiao Yang suddenly noticed something. Soul-devouring talisman, but a weapon in the ghost world. It also has incredible power to deal with ghosts in the ghost world. Long Yi also said to Xiao Yang slowly. Looks like there is still a chance. The next moment, Xiao Yang's pupils suddenly became darker, and at the same time, his body's Fenju suddenly became high. At this time, Xiao Yang couldn't care about other things. Even the fighting skills at the bottom of the box could not be used. He had to condense all the power in his body and use this huge power to produce an explosion. Get out of here. This is the only chance that Xiao Yang can think of at the moment. With the high speed of Fenju, an extremely hot wave appeared on Xiao Yang's body. That force is also slowly attached to the ancient ruler of different fires. The soul-devouring talisman in his hand also radiated a dark light, and then suddenly poured it on the ancient ruler of the different fire. The Yihuaheng ancient ruler absorbed the power of the soul-devouring talisman, and with Xiao Yang's burning flames, the Yihuaheng ancient ruler became green all over, and then the 23 flame colors slowly faded. It flows on the ancient ruler of the eternal fire. A sudden and terrifying wave was also slowly brewing in Xiao Yang's hands, but with the appearance of this wave, Xiao Yang's body also became tense. The man in black is also constantly condensing the ghosts around him, and then the next moment, an extremely evil skull is formed in front of the man in black. The pitch-black skull was extremely huge, and there was an eerie aura all over its body. Among the skulls, the pupils also flashed a strange green, and then the invisible ghost slowly dissipated in the mouth and nose. Such fluctuations really shocked Xiao Yang. What a terrifying fluctuation! If you simply talk about the intensity of this grudge or ghost chi, I am afraid that even 10 of me will not be able to match this man in black. But if it's the power of ghost chi... Xiao Yang laughed at the next moment and then kept condensing the fighting chi in his hands. This time, Xiao Yang also intends to go all out. Because this 8-star Do Emperor level man in black strikes with all his strength, even with the power of ghost chi, the pressure on Xiao Yang is unprecedented. It seems that I only have this chance. Xiao Yang also frowned, and then within the huge soul realm, a figure exactly like Xiao Yang slowly emerged, and then escaped the perception of the man in black, moving towards Go that channel. That Xiao Yang, under the cover of a grudge, was not discovered by the man in black, but at this time, Xiao Yang also slammed into the exit of the passage with the voice of the sea. Xiao Yang is like this, he really wants to hold the man in black, so as to win the opportunity to escape. Because Xiao Yang does not believe that this 8-star Do Emperor level powerhouse will be a fuel-efficient lamp, and Xiao Yang also has self-knowledge. With his current 4-star Do Emperor, he has no chance at all. Fortunately, Xiao Yang has the Soul Eater talisman to restrain ghosts, so he has some plans right away. Boy, die with remorse. After the man in black finished speaking, the huge pitch-black skull that filled his body also made a very harsh sound, and then that sound was like a deadly sound wave. Right, Xiao Yang rushed towards his face. Cough, cough. Faced with such a terrifying attack, Xiao Yang didn't mean to dodge at all, he just muttered. It's still a little bit. Because Xiao Yang knew that this was his only chance, once this attack failed, then he would not be able to escape today. It's just that Xiao Yang was also shocked by the evil sound waves of this skull, and his nose was bleeding, and a strong dizziness also filled Xiao Yang's heart. I'll go. At this time, Xiao Yang's lifelong vindictive chi was also condensed on the Ihua Eternal Ruler. This seemingly strongest blow actually took some time to brew. The next moment, Long Yi on the ancient ruler of Ihua Hung also fell off directly, and then said to Xiao Yang. Because Long Yi knew that once Xiao Yang fell today, his fate would be extremely tragic, and he simply gave up. The ancient ruler of different fires fell off in an instant, and at the same time, in the space of the 9 fishes playing dragon formation, a flaming fire dragon also slowly dispersed. Long Yi just fell off, and he fought with the skull on the side, but Xiao Yang also knew that Long Yi was at a disadvantage, and it was estimated that it would not last long. Today, whatever you do, you can't escape the fate of falling. I think the power of flame on your body is also quite good. Why don't you give it to me? Maybe I can consider letting you go. The man in black is also extremely disdainful. Xiao Yang also ignored the provocation of the man in black. Long Yi bought himself time, and he couldn't give up. The next moment, Xiao Yang also mobilized all the forces that could be mobilized in his body. First, the milky white flame containing the power of 23 kinds of different fires was nearly passed to the ancient ruler of different fires. With the arrival of this huge force, the ancient rulers of different fires also turned green. Then the next moment, the soul-devouring talisman in Xiao Yang's palm also radiated a black power, and then slowly injected it into the ancient ruler of eternal fire. With the injection of this second force, the whole body of the eternal fire eternal ancient ruler is green, and a black aura slowly surrounds it. The next moment, the soul power and unexpected power in Xiao Yang's body also emerged, and then they all converged on the ancient ruler of eternal fire. In the past, the 7th level breaking sky ruler was only cultivated to the 1st level. I hope this time can be successful. The next moment, Xiao Yang also lowered his head and glanced at the green and black ancient ruler with different colors in his hand. Muttered. It seems that Ihua Henguchi heard Xiao Yang's call, and a burst of extremely happy emotions was transmitted to Xiao Yang's body, but at this time Xiao Yang was busy dealing with the black-clothed man in front of him and didn't notice it. 7th layer breaking the sky ruler. The 5th level. Dragon, look up. Xiao Yang's pupils shrank tightly, and he shouted angrily, but as Xiao Yang's voice fell, a giant dragon with fighting chi with several colors also emerged from the ancient ruler of eternal fire. Then the next moment, he suddenly opened his huge mouth and roared away at the green skeleton with a terrifying ghost. Shabu shabu. Following Xiao Yang's roar, the ancient ruler of different fire in his palm also turned green, and then slowly transmitted an extremely gentle force into Xiao Yang's body. Because at this time, Xiao Yang's body was also in a state of overdraft. The whole body is sluggish to varying degrees, and a color permeates the whole body, and even the complexion is slightly pale. This is obviously caused by mobilizing all the vindictiveness. On the arm, blue veins burst out, and there was a crazy wave in the pupil. Boom boom boom. The next moment, the giant dragon in Xiao Yang's hand, which was formed by the convergence of several forces, also raised its arrogant head, and then slightly despised the green skull. Feeling like that, it is as if the overlord between heaven and earth is inspecting his courtiers, and he does not take this green skull in his eyes at all. The green skull also seemed to have discovered the difficulty of this giant dragon, and made an extremely harsh sound. Boy, don't be stubbornly resisting. This is the first floor of the underground palace of our Xianling royal family. Even I can't break the space here. Unless you are a powerhouse at the pinnacle of Do Di, you can't fly even if you put your wings on it. The man in black also found out. Xiao Yang deliberately delayed the time, then stared at Xiao Yan, and said with a slight smile, "The feeling of winning is good." However, the man in black did not increase his attack strength, because the green skull was enough to kill Xiao Yang. He thought that he was enshrined in the royal family of Xianling, powerhouse with the perfection level of the 8-star Do Emperor. Don't worry about what other means of escape this Xiao Yang has. This kid actually let Xing Yang run away like this. Only by slowly torturing him can he let out his heart. Long raised his head. The next moment, Xiao Yang also suddenly shouted. Just as Xiao Yang's words fell, the giant dragon that filled Xiao Yang's side also opened its huge mouth, and then quickly moved towards the green skull. The dragon's body is colorful, and the terrifying temperature and the black air around it are also particularly conspicuous. How can the black aura on this giant dragon be weird? The man in black also shrank his pupils tightly, as if he saw something familiar. At the moment when Xiao Yang's terrorist attack was launched, the green skull also gave off a chill of fear. Xiao Yang just finished speaking, and a mouthful of blood suddenly spurted out. Obviously, this sudden mobilization of all the power in the body is quite a load for Xiao Yang. The brilliance of the ants dare to win glory with her Yue. Even the black aura on Long Shuang's body displayed by Xiao Yang was extremely extraordinary, and the man in black didn't think much about it. After all, the absolute gap in strength cannot be made up no matter what, so the man in black is also disapproving. The next moment, the giant dragon also opened its mouth and walked towards the green skull, trying to swallow it in one bite. The green skull is also quite intelligent. It found that Xiao Yang was not easy to raise his head, and he did not relax in the slightest. A strange green aura slowly came out from his mouth and nose, and then with Xiao Yang's vindictive dragon attacked fiercely together. The ferocious dragon mouth of the giant dragon also bit on the green energy of the green skull. Shabu shabu. The man in black and Xiao Yang also remained deadlocked. But the next moment, the dragon and the green skull energy also burst out. Bang bang bang. The unstoppable dragon bit the green energy in one bite, and then, without weakening in the slightest, suddenly attacked the skull. The man in black also seemed to know that this was Xiao Yang's full-strength blow, and then he muttered something, and the next moment, an even bigger and strange ghostly aura suddenly emanated from the man in black, and then injected into the skull. With the injection of this power from the man in black, the skull instantly swelled up, and in just a few breaths, it also became several tens of meters in size. The monstrous evil aura also suddenly radiated out, filling the entire space of the 9-fish-playing dragon formation. Even the moment this aura appeared, Xiao Yang felt that his breathing became extremely difficult. After absorbing the power of the man in black, the speed of the skull also became extremely fast. Xiao Yang's giant dragon, which was full of fighting chi, opened its mouth and tried to bite it into pieces, fluttered empty. It's over. Seeing that the blood-colored dragon's mouth fluttered into the air, the man in black also said slowly, "That's not necessarily true." Xiao Yang also refused to admit defeat. He used only the remaining breath to condense the only trace of vindictiveness left in his body, and immediately roared suddenly. Broken. After roaring, the giant dragon's head, which was empty, was also suddenly deflected, and then the hideous mouth bit on the green skull. Boom boom boom. The terrifying fluctuations also spread in this space. But the strange thing is that the mouth bit on the skull, and the skull that exudes a monstrous evil aura seems to have lost its vitality, and it is indifferent to let the blood bite on itself. It's just that no one found out that when the dragon bit the green skull, the black aura that was originally on the dragon also eroded the green skull suddenly, so that's why the dragon has this name. The terrifying destructive power of the attack. Damn it! What's the matter? The man in black was also suddenly surprised at the next moment. This skeleton head was cultivated by him. If this skeleton head was injured, the impact on him would be extremely miserable. Bang bang bang. The next moment, the giant dragon was also a milky white flame in its pupils that burned above the skull, and then the blood mouth suddenly exerted force, and the skull was like broken glass, turning into pieces of the sky. Dissipated in this space. Little bastard. With the disappearance of the skull, the man in black also seemed to be seriously injured, and a mouthful of blood suddenly spewed out. Tilda at this time, the man in black was undulating violently. Obviously, after the skull was hit by the giant dragon just now, the damage he caused to himself was extremely terrifying. It's not dead yet. The next moment, the man in black also had red eyes, and then his figure moved, ignoring Xiao Yan, who was weak, and above his palm, a force with a wave of death also appeared out of thin air. As the man in black hit Xiao Yan with his impeccable palm, Xiao Yan, who was standing on the ground, suddenly turned into a puff of white smoke. Clone? The next moment, the man in black suddenly widened his eyes, and said incredulously. Cough cough cough. Xiao Yan wrote down what happened today, and I will pay it back 100-fold in the future. After speaking, Xiao Yan also spurted out a mouthful of blood. Obviously, he had just used all his strength to strike a 7-fold sky-shattering ruler. It caused indescribable damage to Xiao Yan. At this time, outside the passage, a space the size of a finger was also smashed open by that black Xiao Yan with the sound of the sea. Not good. The next moment, the man in black also suddenly realized something, and then suddenly turned slightly towards the place where the two Xiao Yan were. Farewell. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he suddenly turned into a stream of light and disappeared into this space. Damn. Damn it. When the man in black came out of this passage, the space that was smashed open instantly healed. Damn boy. I miscalculated this time. In the 9 fishes playing the dragon array, the man in black also put on a cloak to cover his appearance, and then said. Because even the man in black never thought that this Xiao Yan could be calm at such a moment. If it were an ordinary person, maybe 10 lives would not be enough to die. But this Xiao Yan knows that I have the ghost spirit of the ghost world in me. I don't know if this will be a big trouble. Also, why is this Xiao Yan able to destroy my skull with the power of the 4-star Do Emperor consummation? There must be something weird on him. The holy flame on Mu Yingying's body won't let go so easily. It's really the one who killed the twin ghost emperors. The man in black also murmured, and then he sat on the ground without hesitation. Obviously, Xiao Yan just destroyed his skull, which caused him a lot of damage. Cough, cough. Inside the space passage, Xiao Yan also limped towards the exit. This 8-star Do Di perfection level powerhouse does not put a little bit of pressure on him. Thanks to the mysterious power of the Soul Eater talisman, plus the arrogance of this man in black, he did not use all his strength from the beginning. Xiao Yan escaped the catastrophe, otherwise, Xiao Yan could only use the clan markings belonging to the Xiao clan. It's just that Xiao Yan also believes that once this clan mark is used, it will surely disturb many strong people, and the matter is not so serious. Cough, cough. Xiao Yan also limped to the space teleportation formation in the passage. Then the next moment, Long Yi, who was above the ancient ruler of the eternal fire, slowly exuded a force, activating the space teleportation formation. Don't worry, the next time I meet the enshrinement of the Xianling royal family, it will definitely make him unable to eat. After Long Yi finished speaking, he was also submerged on the ancient ruler of the different fire. At this time, the space teleportation formation was also activated. Get up, and then slowly teleport Xiao Yan back. Master. That's. Outside the underground palace at this time, Mu Feng also found a beautiful figure, and he was immediately happy. What's the matter? The next moment, the slightly lazy Zhu Lao also suddenly moved like a ghost, and the next moment, he also came to the side of the beautiful shadow. Save! Save Xiao Yan. Mu Yingying also took her last breath, and said that the perfect eyes were also closed instantly, and then she fell weakly to the ground. Zhu Lao was also quick-witted, and took Mu Yingying over instantly, and then found that Mu Yingying was covered with scars of varying degrees at this time, and an extremely gentle force immediately emerged to nourish Mu Yingying, and then confronted the man behind him. Mu Feng said, "Take care of her." After Elder Zhu finished speaking, his entire body suddenly exuded aura, and an aura mixed with anger also erupted at the exit of the underground palace. The next moment, Zhu Lao also walked towards the exit of the underground palace, trying to enter the underground palace to find Xiao Yan. Mu Yingying, the 5-star Do Emperor's midterm strength, was so seriously injured. "I'm afraid, Xiao Yan, I'm the most fortunate." "Sir, please calm down, maybe it's not like that." At the entrance of the underground palace, the officer with the tiger's head carved on his shoulder also stepped forward and said respectfully to Elder Zhu, "I don't know why this big man made trouble at the exit of this underground palace. This big man, even someone like them, knows it all. Back then, he used his own power to fight their entire dragon-loving army. Not to mention the Tiger-Tooth Legion, which is even weaker than the Dragon-loving Legion. Humph. What more explanation is needed? My disciples of Burning Incense Pavilion have this kind of thing on your Xianling royal family's territory. What else is there to say?" Elder Zhu also said angrily. The next moment, he didn't hesitate, and then his breath suddenly soared, heading towards the exit of the underground palace. "Sir, you are trespassing into the forbidden area of our Xianling royal family without authorization. Logically, we have." The Legion with the tiger's head depicted also said. Elder Zhu also shouted angrily and ignored these people at all, then turned into a ghost, and headed for the exit of the underground palace. Someone broke into the forbidden area of the underground palace, form an array. The officer with the tiger's head also shouted loudly. "Although I know that even if we condense all the human and material resources here, I am afraid that it will not be able to stop this old bamboo, but the duty of a soldier is to obey orders. Even if they let them die, there is no complaint at all. This is the soldier. Go away." Zhu Lao snorted coldly, and then the soldiers were instantly knocked down by Zhu Lao's terrifying sound wave, leaving Zhu Lao hurriedly roaring towards the underground palace. "Xiao Yang, you can't be in trouble. It's hard to find someone who can inherit my mantle." Elder Zhu also rushed into the underground palace in an instant and then murmured in his mouth, "Let's pass on the royal family." Someone broke into the forbidden area. The fallen soldiers also shook their heads helplessly, and then a flying eagle appeared instantly and flew towards the Xianling royal family. Inside the underground palace, Xiao Yang also left the 9 fishes playing dragon formation, and then came to the outside of the space teleportation formation on the first floor of the underground palace. Strange, this is obviously the first floor of the underground palace, but why is there no way to go down? Xiao Yang also showed his perception, then glanced at the space here in a murmur, and said, "Forget it, let's go back first." Shaking his head helplessly, Xiao Yang also walked towards the exit. With his current appearance, he is indeed a little embarrassed, and his breath fluctuates. Who am I? So it's Xu Jin, you old fellow. Just as Xu Lao Ma was about to step into the underground palace, a hearty voice slowly came out, "Get out of the way." Old Zhu also snorted coldly, and didn't stop half a step because of the sound. "Why let it go? This is the territory of our Xianling royal family, Xu Jin. It's too presumptuous for you to prohibit yourself like this." That voice also emerged slowly. What appeared in front of Mu Feng was an old man with a thin and sallow face. The old man had white hair and was obviously quite old, but on the grey clothes, a terrifying fluctuation was also faintly exuding. With such fluctuations, it is definitely a powerhouse above the 8-star Do Emperor level. Mu Feng's heart was also extremely shocked. This 8-star Do Emperor level powerhouse, no matter if it is placed in any sect power in Xiantian Santian, is regarded as an existence like a guest. Since it happened on the territory of my Xianling royal family, then we will definitely give you an explanation. However, this Xianling Emperor Pond is very dangerous. I believe you are also aware that your disciple in the pavilion may have been injured by the mysterious creatures of the Xianling Emperor Pond. The old man in grey also said indifferently. Are you courting death? Before the old man in grey had finished speaking, a powerful aura that destroyed the sky and the earth suddenly radiated from the old man Zhu. With the breath of old bamboo emanating, The sky that was originally clear sky suddenly became gloomy, and dark clouds and thunder and lightning also filled the entire sky in an instant. At this moment, the world is moved by it. This video will end here.